Hello, math wizards. I am back to do some more math, subtracting to compare in word problems. So word problems try to trick you with all those words. So we really need to figure out what do we need to do so we can figure out what they are wanting us to do so they don't trick us. Today I'm on lesson 8, session 2, page 169 in your math books. And it looks like this. It has a cute little ski hat. And at the top it says develop. Subtracting to compare in word problems. And you have all this. I shortened it to this. Look at how much it went from that to that. That shows you hopefully how many extra words they put in there to trick you and confuse you, but you can't let them. You need to know how to not get tricked. And that's what I'm here for. So I'll read the problem from the blue, and then I will show you how I pulled out certain things to help me solve it. So the problem says there are 6 children. There are 4 hats. Are there more hats or children? I forgot that one. How many children do not get a hat? So first it says there are 6 children. So I would circle 6. And I wrote kids just because I'm doing it up here and not in my book. But you don't need to circle kids. 6 kids, and yours says children. Remember, this is a synonym. It's a totally different word that means the same thing. Children, kids, same thing. So we call that a synonym. 6 kids, 4 hats. So you would circle 4. How many more hats? Or I'm sorry, are there more hats or children? How many kids do not get a hat? So we need to solve, number 1 is, are there more kids or hats? And number 2 that we need to solve is how many kids do not get a hat? This is where you try it. So hopefully you are going to pause and you're going to write out your own solution to this problem. I recommend drawing a picture because that's what we've been doing this whole time and it always helps you. So pause it and now hit play so we can do this together, okay? So I have 6 kids. I'm gonna draw my kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna give them a happy face. Okay, I have my 6 kids. Now I'm gonna draw my 4 hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing it says is, are there more kids or hats? Well, I need to figure out. So here, these guys all get a hat. Uh-oh, now I can see there's no hat here and there's no hat here. So which one has more? There are more, that's your keyword, more children than hats. There are more children than hats. There's missing 2. How many, that's our first one, so check it off, we did that. The second part it's asking us is how many do not get a hat? So I'm gonna count these kiddos. 1, 2. 2 kids do not get a hat. Good job. There are more children than hats. 2 kids do not get a hat. If you wanted to, you could look on here and cross off it when you do it. So it says, are there more hats or children? So you would put a box around more because that's what it's asking you. And it has a question mark, so that means you need to answer it. How many children do not get a hat? Put a box around do not. It's not asking how many kids do get a hat, it's saying do not. Then it has a question mark, so you need to answer that. So you can put a little check mark, kind of like I did. Okay, I figured out how many more. Or are there more? It doesn't say how many, it just says, are there more? All right, good job. I'm gonna turn the page. I'm now on page 170. It says there are 6 children. This just models what we did. So it says model it. It's going over what we did, but it's showing you how they would have solved it. There are 6 children. There are 4 hats. Are there more hats or children? How many children do not get a hat? Find 6 minus 4. Match 4 hats with 4 children. 4 and how many more make 6? So we have 4, 5, 6. So 4 plus 2 equals 6, or 6 minus 4 equals 2. Just depending on how you look at it. 6 minus 4, you're going to fill in that blank. 2. There are more children or kids. I wrote it here. Blank, children do not get a hat. 2. You can see here they're hatless. So fill in all those blanks. That is what I'm looking for. Now at the top of page 171, it says connected. It says, how is your way like model it and how is it different? Well, mine was really similar to model it. So I would say that mine was very similar, or I drew the picture and I figured out how many were missing. I counted those and that gave me my answer. If you didn't do that, if you did something independent, then you need to write what you did, how it was alike and how it was different from the model it. Okay. Now number 2 on page 171 says, how can subtracting help you compare the numbers of hats and children? How can subtracting help you compare the number of hats versus children? Okay, so for that, it helps me compare how many more children I have than hats. It also helps me know how many less hats I have than children. So I'll write that down and you can copy it because I know that's a lot and it's kind of confusing. I want to make sure that this is as easy as possible because I realize this can be kind of different. So I'm just going to reread it so I make sure I answer it correctly. Okay, so subtracting tells me how many more children, right? I had 2 more children than hats. So subtracting tells me how many more children and how, the opposite of that is how many fewer, is 2 less hats, right? Yeah, not everybody had a hat. And how many fewer hats there were. So when you subtract, you're finding out how many more or how many less, how much less, how fewer. So this is what I said, subtracting tells me how many more children and how many fewer hats there were. So it tells you the difference between the 2, which was 2. So pause and write this down because I'm about to erase it. All right, there we go. Rewind it if you need to. I know some of you are like, oh, I'm not ever going to write that. But it helps your brain. It helps your handwriting. It helps you understand. So I would write it down. And if your teacher says to do it, you do it. All right, number 3 is apply it. You'll see some red circles and some bluish purplish squares. It says there are 8 books. There are 5 children. How many books are there? So we're going to circle 8 and we're going to circle 5. How many more is what we're looking for. We're looking for more, not fewer, more. So then we draw 8 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there are 5 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice when I drew these, I wasn't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really hard to compare if they're not in a straight line. We call this columns like the White House. Your hands go up and down, and you say columns like the White House, columns like the White House. So these are in columns. They're all super straight, not just thrown about. Because then I can say, okay, 8 minus 5. That's what I'm doing here, 8. And then I'm looking at how much are missing. I can say, okay, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids get a book. And there are 1, 2, 3 more books. There are 3 more books. 3 more books. It's asking you how many books are there. So you're going to say 8 minus 5 equals 3. There are 3 more books. Turn the page. And it says there are 9 frogs. There are 5 lily pads. All right, 9 frogs. You're circling it. 5 lily pads. They didn't draw it, and that's okay. You don't have to draw it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I'm going to draw 5 lily pads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So mine is opposite because the frogs should be on the lily pads, but that's okay. Either way, you can tell, look at all these leftovers. They don't have one, they don't have one, they don't have one, they don't have one. So the question is, how many more frogs are there? Well, now I'm going to count how many I squared. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I know 9 minus 5 is 4. So there are 4 more frogs. You could also put a box this way and say, okay, all these are evened up. These are left out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I know 5 plus 4 equals 9 because addition and subtraction are opposite. Number 5, there are 3 fish. There are 3 fish. There are 6 fish bowls. So 3 fish, 6 bowls. How many more? I'm gonna keep more up there. So, ooh, this is cool. So they did this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They drew their 6 fish bowls. And then they drew in 3 fish. 1, 2, 3. So what I recommend is you're going to say, okay, I have 6 total because subtraction starts with the biggest number, right? You're going to take away the 3 that have fish. How many do not? Or how many more fish bowls are there? This is 1 extra, 2 extra, 3 extra. So there are 3 extra fish bowls that don't have a fish in them. There are 3 fish, 6 fish bowls. There are 3 more. Okay, good job. Now let's get to, let's see. This is the practice page. So it's exactly what we've been doing. So I'm just going to jump right down here to this cute picture with this doggy. It's page 173. It says there are 6 dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there are 5 bones. How many more? That's the word you're going to put a box around. So what I'm solving is 6 dogs. They have 5 bones. How many more are there? So here's a bone. Here's a bone. 3, 4, 5. Count on 6. I drew 1 left. Remember, we are doing strategies. So this may be like super basic for you, but what I want you to see is pairing those up, and then you can figure out the answer from there. Okay, good. Next page, moving right along. There are 7 cats. 7 cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 4 toys. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're solving. And it says how many more are there? So 7 minus 4 equals, well, I can easily do this. Boom. Right? That's a double stacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 plus 4. They each get 1. And then I count how many are missing. 1, 2, 3. 7 minus 4 is 3. We're going to keep going. We have dogs and treats. So this one says there are 5 dogs and there's 4 treats. How many more dogs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can draw a line here even. You don't have to put a box around it. 4, count on stopping at 5. 4, 5. So now I know 5 minus 4 equals 1. There is 1 more dog than there are treats. This dog is not going to get a treat. He's missing that. There's 1 dog. This is that dog. Okay, there's 1 more dog than there are treats. Next one is our last one. And it says there are 6 cats. There are 3 bowls. How many more cats are there? So they drew your 6 cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how you don't have to draw cats, just something that represents those cats. These triangles are that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 bowls. 1, 2, 3. Now it says, how many more are there? So I have 6 total cats. Only 3 get bowls. How many here do not? 1, 2, 3. 3 do not. There are 3 more cats than there are bowls. These cats don't get a bowl. See how there's no bowl there? All right, I hope this makes sense. I really like this lesson, lesson 8. It's super fun, and I hope you are too. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Great job again. You're doing awesome. I love you all, and I'm super proud of you. Bye.